identity reinvention. Wanted to change the setting in the background for today. There's kind of less light here, but I just wanted to change. So, and you know, I've been thinking, yes, we're gonna get in right away. I've been thinking some like 24 hours, last 24 to 48 hours about something that I've already heard before that, but it just strike differently this way. And you know how I've really, really like long in my soul to have some discussion sometime when I'm walking down the street and I see younger girls or the younger girls that are in my family as cousins, niece, or the discussion that I'm planning in my head or in my heart, sorry guys, to have with my daughters and my granddaughters. And then the other day, just few hours ago, it occurred to me that I can actually leave a legacy through this video that I do to my daughters and to my granddaughters, conversation that I would like to have with them and that they can come back to whatever they want in time in the experience of their in the experience of their journey. And I thought it's so funny, like how it never crossed my mind because on this platform I already shared a lot, but there was some few times where I did not really speak to the fullest extent on that I desired because I was like, is for someone out there that I don't know. But then I retrace my step within and I say, why? Why am I doing content creation for somebody that I do not know? What will I what will I like to say to my younger sister out there, my cousins, my niece that I see living their life, that are preteen, that are teenagers, that are young adults? I'm like, girl, you don't do that. Whether it's in relationship, whether with themselves first, with other genders, with their relationship with money and so forth and so on. What is my heart has been beating to like share with them? And because I've learned better, which is and I've already shared it on this platform, and I will say it again for legacy purpose, that you don't give water to the one that's not thirsty. You don't um also you don't give food to the one that's not hungry. Why? Because he will despise it, and it's not his fault for despising it. It's just that you give money to you give well, not money, but you give food to someone that's not hungry. What do you want him to do? He will just spoil it. He will just be playing with the fork and disregard it because he's not hungry. So I've learned over time that you don't give food to the one that's not hungry. You don't give water to the one that's not thirsty. You don't give answers to the one that's not asking himself questions. I've learned it over time, and because I've learned it, I'm walking around, seeing my niece, my nephews, my especially my nieces, my cousins, doing stuff, and I'm like, girl, this consciousness, this mindset that you are developing is gonna God get with you. You have to get up yourself, like put yourself together. You are beautiful. You have to feel beautiful for others to see you beautiful. You have to, like, I see them do a lot of stuff and I'm like, I want to say something, but you don't say something because you don't give water to the one that's not thirsty. And I've learned that, and I'm still learning that, because sometimes you want to speak, but I've learned not to speak, but to just walk away. Because as one of my mentor has taught me, don't save them, show them. Don't tell them, be. So I'm learning that the best example that I can set for them, the best teaching that I can give to them is by me being. And now, hopefully, they will come to a point that they want to know more, and they will come closer to ask questions. They want to know more. They want to see more. They want to know how did you do that? And then I'll have the open door to actually talk to them. But while waiting for that opportunity to show up, I realized some few hours ago, 24 to 48 hours ago, that I already have a platform. So why not drop it here? And whosoever wants to learn whatever will just come here and, will learn from this platform. So that was just a disclaimer notice for today, that I was already doing that, but I got like it was like I got like an inner authorization. I gave permission now to it was like an inner click within myself to go fully in, my sister. Don't restrain yourself. Just go full in. What do you want your daughter to know, your granddaughter to know? To spare them time, to spare them so that they can learn from your experiences without necessarily having to go through the downfall that you had to go through, or the trauma, or the pain, or the suffering, whatever, to learn that lesson so that they can know that they can refer back to these videos and learn from you and have a face-to-face conversation with you as you are there, because that's just a miracle of technology. And they have mama with them to, what will mama do in this situation? Has she ever encountered this? Has she ever encountered this in her life? And they can to my YouTube channel, check my live stream, and see what mama, what grandma, what great grandmother said about this and thought about this at her time, because that's just it. And I'm just so excited about that. So today I wanted to talk about, is it really a topic? Is a topic, but how to phrase it is like, do it anyway. If you have to call, you have to give it a topic, we say do it anyway. When you have the internal knowing, the internal push, the internal, that gut feeling that this is what you ought to do now, you have to call this person, you have the inspired action coming, rising from within you, from within your heart, then do it. And in the process of doing it, keep on doing it. As long as that intuition is there, is backed up there. And I was like, do it when you feel, do it when you don't feel. Doing when it's convenient, do it when it's not convenient, but do it. Keep on showing up, doing it. Because I was thinking the other day, my father told me that, my mentor told me that, each of them in different words, but it was the same words actually. And he was like, desires come from the word from God. Desires are the gift from God. And of course, there is another part of it that you have to be already in this journey to be able like to make the difference between the desire coming from your false ego, your false ego, your desire to impress people, comparison, and all those ambitions, appetites, and and ambition, appetite. The third thing is like escaping from my mind right now, but it's gonna come back. That are fuel from the false ego. That means that are fuel from the wounded part of your soul that wants to kind of prove itself to you, itself to others, itself to your past, etc., etc. But while you are in this journey of healing, and when you grow in this journey of healing and you are maturing and you understand that the main reason that we are here on earth is actually to make humanity better and to fulfill a greater purpose than I, me, and myself. When you start entering into that phase of life, you discover that more and more your desires are from God. Your desire is what God desires. So therefore, what God desires is what you desire. And when you are in that frame, that frequency, that phase, you learn that if I have a desire, then it has to be fulfilled. And when I say it has to be fulfilled, it doesn't mean that you may not apparently have the resources in terms of human resources, time resources, financial resources, etc., etc. But you have to realize that your job is not to think about how am I going to do that. Your job is to show up at the right time, doing the right thing. I don't know if I'm able to go across. Like when a desire pop up in your heart, you are not the one that initiated the desire. The one who initiated the desire will perform the fulfillment of the desire. All we have to do, you and I, is to show up where we ought to show up. to make sure that we are in alignment and we are at the right place at the right time for it to happen. And I had a beautiful image that came to my mind about that. It was like when your father tells you, we are talking here about a wholesome father, a healed father, a father that is whole and complete in his spirit, soul, and body. And he tells you, we're going to travel and we're going to go to, where do I want to go? Singapore for a week. All expenses taken on me. You don't ask your father, like, okay, what's the budget for our travel, for our journey there? What are we going to eat there? Well, how much is booking the flight? Are we taking the first class? No, your father said he's taking all expenses on himself. He's giving you free vacation in Singapore. You are not asking yourself, like, what are we doing? Where are we going? You just show up that day with your suitcase. You just show up that day with your suitcase because your father said, we are going to vacation. We are going to Singapore for a week, the whole family. You are not bothered about how are we going to pay the flight, in which hotel are we staying. No, your father is taking care of all of that. And knowing the generosity of your father, knowing the love of your father for you, you just show up that day with your suitcase. In fact, even when you ask, what are we eating today, is really a non-question question, because you know that it has already been taken care. Now, the choice of is the multiplicity of the choice that you have when it comes to where you will choose to eat that is making you actually to ask the question, what are we going to eat today, by the way? Because I know I can choose to eat local, I can choose to eat this, I can choose to eat that. So it's the multiplicity of the multiplicity of the available choices that you have that cause you to ask the question, but you're not asking the question from a place of survival and of lack and of scarcity. Like, what are we going to eat today? Because I don't have anything to eat. No, that is not from that place that you're asking the question. It's because you have so much choice into where you could choose to eat and what you can choose to eat that you're like, what am I going to eat today? What are we going to eat today? So in the same way, when you have that intuition, when you have that inspired action that drops in your heart, what you ought to do is do the thing, do what you are supposed to do, and confidently show up, knowing that because you are on the path of showing up again and again and again and again, that that consistency is creating a momentum, a compound effect that will definitely come back to you. Come back to you. Hi, Hansa, guess. Hi. And so it will definitely come back to you. So because of that, you have a reason to show up. I was thinking the other day, some few hours back, actually, when people say it is not possible for you to be happy all the time. And you say to people, we have been talking about happiness on this channel, on this different live stream, but we're going to talk about it again because it's such a simple thing, but it's such an all thing. A simple thing that includes all things. So you say to people, you have to understand that happiness is your birthright. When people start, coming to that, like, kind of, wow, I never thought about it like that. That birthright, that happiness is your birthright. You were born happy. Yeah. Just look at newborns, you will know that. Or live around them. You were born happy. You are born with happiness. But somewhere along the way, you forgot it. You forgot that happiness is your birthright, and that as you are walking like that, sad and depressed and discouraged and all the stuff, happiness is residing in you in all its fullness. And all you have to do to be happy is decide to be happy. And you've also talked about the fact that it's very important for us to understand that the happiness is not dependent on the things, on the people, or on the events. Our happiness is not something related or linked to something external. We are happy because we are born happy. We are happy because we are made one with happiness. We are happy because this is our birthright. And when we make the choice that our happiness will not depend on anything external to us, whatever is an achievement and whatever is perceived as a failure, our happiness not depending on that, the next question that people have, usually coming from their minds, is, but it's not possible to be happy all the time because life happens. And the reason, what they are not realizing, that the reason of that question is that what that question is actually asking without saying it is that, how can I be happy if there are some events that I want to occur that are not yet occurred, or there are some events that I want to stop occurring that are still occurring? How can I be happy if there's this thing that I want that I don't yet have, or there's this thing that I don't want that is still happening? How can I be happy if there's this person or these people in my life that I don't want, or there's this person or these people in my life that I want that are not yet showing up? You see, you are still linking your happiness with something that's outside of yourself. So we can, as human being always happy. Yes, we can be always. We are, in fact, we have been designed to be happy. That's why humanity is more than any generation. We are one of the most advanced generation. Because I think that those of the ancient time were much more advanced when it comes to technology. Whatever is the spiritual technology, material, physical technology, I think they were much more advanced. And that we are just, in that now, we, this generation, we are just going back into the past, which is actually, we are just going back into the future, which is going back into the past. But that's my personal belief. I really think that the ancient time were far more advanced when it comes to technology, whether it's technology of in metaphysics, in physics, in spirituality. They were far more advanced. The proof is that till today we don't know how they did the pyramids in Egypt. We are not able to reproduce that, and there are other architecture that we are not still able to reproduce today, but that were engineered by those ancient people. So I really think that we are just going back into the future by going back into our past, by remembering our past. But that's just for me. It was just a side note. So to say that we are designed to be happy people. We are designed to be happy people, and it's because we have unlearned that happiness that is inherent to our being. And we have learned to be stressed, and we have learned to be afraid, and we have learned to be worried, and we have learned to be anxious for everything, and we have learned to distrust the generosity of the cosmos, and we have learned so many things that are not in alignment with our ontological design, with our natural, with our core design.